My name is Miriam Foster. I'm the owner of the Orient Country Store here in Orient. Today I'd love to invite you into my kitchen and together we'll make a Thanksgiving pumpkin pie. Now I take my French rolling pin and off it peels, nice and easy. This is another tricky part, and I think that the eggs in the recipe make this the flawless execution. It doesn't tear, it's very forgiving. I can ease the pastry down into the pie shell here without worrying about putting my finger through anything. Okay, so it's good enough, a little lion's mane. Some Williams-Sonoma little fall kit with little pumpkins in it, which is always a nice reminder of what the pie is. Pretty straightforward ingredient list. See here, there's an air bubble. There we go. The perfect pie is so impossible. Everybody makes their own perfect pie and they're all exactly right. Really anything goes when it comes to pie, which is why I love it so much.
Wow. This is a heavy plate of pie we have here.
This definitely looks like a Briarmere pie to me, but I guess I won't know till I taste it.
Okay, so up first, it's delicious, I can tell you that.
And it's definitely Briarmere. I don't have any doubt about that.
To me, this is Briarmere.
Okay, now I'm gonna try this one with a darker crust.
The apples are a little bit less soft, a little crunchier. It's really yummy. I'd say maybe Halleck's cider milk for that one.
I'm not sure where that's from, but it's really good.
Third and final. Wow, this is really flaky and looks unbelievable, actually. I'm really excited for this piece. Okay, here we go.
This is tough, these last two. I'm gonna say that this is from Halleck's and this is from Breeze Hill. I don't know if I'm right.
It's really good. That one has like very gooey apple flavors going on. It's really yummy, so let's say Breeze Hill.
I think I'm gonna stick with my original answers. This pie is from Briarmere. This pie is from Halleck's. And this pie is from Breeze Hill.
So my final answers are, the first one I think is Briarmere. The second one, I would say Halleck's Cider Mill, and the third is Breeze Hill. $1934. Oh my gosh!
I was still really wrong. If that makes you feel any better.
That's been around for a really long time.
I was just less wrong than you are.
Wow, I'm shocked actually. Well, I guess you're the new winner.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Surya.
Good job, Surya.
We went to Australia last winter and we spent a couple weeks there with the intention of getting inspired. Brekkie is a really big thing over there, and since we're brunch, we wanted to kind of bring those inspirations back. So when we were there, Scott and I actually went to a school and we took a barista course, so we got certified. It's a lot to do beverages correctly, so we take the approach here the same way that our food is made by our awesome chefs. We need someone to make our beverages in the same manner. We need a professional in the barista section as a barista, you know.
My name is Paul Mejia, and I'm the beverage manager and barista here at Bruce & Son. I have a background in working in restaurants over the years, so I had been looking for some extra restaurant work, and actually I got into catering. I was working at Grace & Grit, so Jenny Lee Morris, owns that, and a couple shifts in, I had been bartending there, and she said, "Do you want to come roast coffee at Northforker Roasting Company?" So that started me off on that, and then it was just a couple years of just inundated with coffee. When it came time for me to move on from that, I let them know here, and they asked me to come on board and take over the beverage program. I have to come up with drink ideas. I have to keep it seasonal, just like the menu changes with the seasons, the drinks have to change with the seasons. All right, let's go make some lattes. So right now, for the season, we usually have like a bottled iced latte offering. So right now, it's pear and carrot. So the carrots are still in season. Most people would be thinking apples, so we always try and think a little off center, so I went with pear. Another unique offering right now is the CBD chamomile latte. The seasonal part of that is mostly in the spices, so it's got nutmeg, fresh ginger, oat milk again. It's very comforting. It's just really good for this time of year when it's starting to get a little cooler. But sometimes people just want their normal cappuccino, latte, and you want to make sure that you're still taking care of the product. It's got a nice layer of foam to coffee ratio here. This is what I'd be looking for. Even if you've had a million lattes, you're going to taste the difference because we have a little less milk in our lattes. So we're trying to get people to taste the espresso. We want you to taste that and have a good, robust coffee taste, but it's so smooth, it's still gonna get you to be like, oh, this is good, this is different.
It's changed the game in that respect because this is his passion and this is what he's doing every day.
It's this sort of moment of surprise where they're tasting it and they come here expecting something to taste good. So when you can kind of have that moment of they know the food is going to taste good, and then to have a really good beverage on top of it, it's just sort of like that, I guess, the icing, and it does feel good. It feels really good to have somebody taste something that you made, especially if you created it from nothing, from the bottom up, and then they enjoy it. It's very gratifying.
spend time here in my home studio making sewn animals. Mostly it's a process that I learned from my parents, watching them do like DIY home stuff. This particular kind of like leg of my creative journey, I got connected with White Flower Farmhouse. I had made a small pig ornament, and I just like, something that I don't know, I was looking for some sort of item that I might be able to sell here, and my husband suggested I go there and talk to them, and that was the beginning of a big relationship. Lori has been a huge help. She's the one who said, make me a teddy bear, and I was like, okay, done. And made a couple of bad ones, and then made this one that we ended on. And I've picked up 5 more stores since. There's a store in Texas, a couple of stores in Maine, a store in Massachusetts, and of course White Flower Farmhouse in South Holt.
Treva's items are one of the most popular items in the store. They're great sellers. People love to come in and get something from the North Fork to take home. We have the pigs, we have bunnies, brown teddy bears, white teddy bears, the pumpkins. So popular, so popular. One Saturday I just totally sold out of them, had to call her and say, make some more for tomorrow. It's the heart bibs. These are the cutest. People get them for showers and christenings, and they're just so sweet. She is the sweetest person I've ever met. She is just so sweet and always smiling, and you can just tell she loves what she does. And you can see it in the creations.
Instagram has been the biggest help for me. You know, I would like to say that I've beat the streets and that I've talked to shop owners, but I haven't. You know, I put a profile together on Instagram and put some photos up, and every time Lori at White Flower Farmhouse features one of my bears or pumpkins or bunnies or whatever, I get more followers, and shops have come to me that way. The design process is also something I generally do in the winter. It's a first draft, a second draft, and generally on the third draft I get something that is what I want. That is a nice place to call the product. My favorite way to get ideas is to have somebody request an item, because then I know there's already a desire for it. When I just like shoot from the hip and think like, oh, like what about a narwhal? It's harder to think of like what size and what colors, and all of these decisions to make in the design process can be a little overwhelming and take longer to get to the finished product sometimes. So a request can help me hone those decisions. Each one is slightly different, and sometimes one eye is higher than the other, and sometimes the ears are like floppier, or the smile is bigger, or I don't know, simple variation. But it's nice to know that it's handmade and it's evidence of the hand, and I think that's where the value really is. And just made by a person, which is also really nice. It's something that we miss these days. To actually see somebody like connect with these little things and to really adore them from like go. You know, they didn't get to see it in its component parts. They see the finished product and it somehow speaks to them, and that's cool.
When I think of fall in the North Fork, I obviously think of all the leaves changing and the scenery kind of going into this, you know, we're just coming out of summer, it's a big transitional period. There's a lot of like beautiful natural colors that emerge. The pumpkins and the leaves changing, and the water, the color of the water changes a little darker. I kind of created a made-up scene from all the little pieces of the North Fork that I love. So there's a barn that I love from Mattituck, also including a lot of like the natural wildlife that I feel is really inspiring. I I've been doing chalk out here for maybe 4 years now. I've been out here full time for 6 years. The first chalkboard that I did was at First and South, and when Sarah asked me to do it, I just was like, what? No. She was like, well, it's chalk. If it's terrible, I'll erase it. And I was like, light bulb, like, oh my God, you're right. So I did it, and then I've been doing it there like monthly for the last 4 years, and it's my favorite chalkboard to do, and it's it's a huge chalkboard, it's an entire wall. So I'm really grateful to her for even asking me. Someone brought up a really interesting point to me where, you know, everywhere she goes, she sees these chalkboards. It's almost like the chalk art becomes like a tool of connection. I do think that art connects people, and where we live is also very special. It's a small community. This woman emailed me. Her husband passed, and the last thing that he sent her was a picture of the chalkboard in Love Lane Kitchen, Live a Beautiful Life. She wanted me to create a permanent one, like for her home. So it's like stuff like that that really is gratifying. I'm really excited about creating this piece of artwork that was inspired by Northforker and all of the North Fork's fall beauty. Along with Northforker, we've decided to raffle off this piece of artwork to benefit Cornell Cooperative Extension's marine program, SPAT.
SPAT was created to encourage community members to become stewards of their environment and also to restore shellfish to the bays. We at Northforker felt this was a very worthy cause, and we are happy to partner with Kara and Cornell to raise money for this program. If you would like a chance to own this original piece, tickets are available online for $10 on northforker.com right now.
There will also be tickets available at Celebration, which is December 1st and 2nd.